Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Manoj Networking. So in my channel I will be mainly talking about the network related concepts and the technologies, and as part of that learning series today we'll see what is a firewall and why firewall is needed, and what are the zones in the firewall, and what is the basic of the Palo Alto firewalls. So and that stuff we'll be seeing today. And if you like the content of my channel, please do like and subscribe, and if any feedbacks, please post it in the comments section. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So basically, what is a firewall? So a firewall is a device which will monitor the data in real time and inspects the malicious traffic and or block the traffic and can provide the statistics to the network engineer. So basically, a firewall has the access to mitigate the malicious traffic, since firewall is an intelligent device and it can operate in the layer 7 of OSI models. So nowadays all the firewalls, be it Palo Alto firewalls or checkpoint firewalls, they have the self capability to identify the application, they have the capability to identify the content of the information which is coming from the users. So basically they all can filter traffic with the help of layer 7 OSI model, and as I said, a firewall can allow or deny the traffic based on the specific set of rules that are written by your network administrator. So in the firewall section in the GUI, we need to write couple of rules to allow the traffic from so and so source destination to given source and vice versa, and it will act as a bridge between my internal LAN users towards the WAN connectivity, also called as internet. So any firewall doesn't matter. So these are the firewall vendors. So you have Palo Alto firewall, you have checkpoint firewall, you have from Cisco FMC FTD, and we have Sophos firewall. So any firewall, they will be doing this basic job. And models, so we can have multiple models that are available in the firewalls. So most of the in nowadays we are running the VMs, so they will be running on EXXI hypervisor or in the cloud. So cloud is nothing but Microsoft, they have their own Azure cloud services, Google have their own Google cloud platform. So there also we can run our firewalls. If it is an Amazon AWS, we have it, so there also we can run, or if you have any EXXI host supervisors, there also we can run, or we can also buy one physical device. So that is also possible. With the help of physical devices also we can run the firewalls. So on firewalls, basically you can do routing. I mean almost all the routing protocols like static routing, default routing, dynamic routing, all the routing is applicable on the firewalls also, and you can configure DHCP configurations. We can also make firewall as a DHCP, and we can configure end user VPNs, that is also possible, and we can also configure site to site VPN connections. And this is how a firewall will be looking like. And if you see the things from end user side, so we have three systems, and if you see they are all sharing the data and resources, they are sitting in my LAN, and if they wanna go and talk to internet, there will be one person called firewall. So he will be act as a bridge between my LAN resources and my internet. So whatever the traffic that is coming from are going to, so both the traffics are being inspected, and if they found malicious, like it will do some sort of rules like content ID, application filter ID, and if any of the things found wrong, then your firewall can block the traffic. So moving further to Palo Alto firewalls. So Palo Alto firewalls are more than just a stateful firewalls. So this question is very important in your interviews. What is the difference between the traditional firewalls and next generation firewalls, also called as NGFW? So traditional firewalls in later days, in olden days, so what they will do normally, so traditional firewalls, they will inspect the traffic from layer 2 to layer 4, layer 2 to layer 4. That means they can do the traffic monitoring based on the specific IPs, or in layer 4 they can do with the help of TCP and UDP ports. Whereas nowadays the stateful firewalls or next generation firewalls, they have the capability to do the monitoring from layer 2 to layer 7. So that's how they can do the app ID. So app based, application based, we can do the real time monitoring. Like let's say if you are using Palo Alto firewall for your end computers, for these 3 computers, we can allow facebook.com, but we can block particular Facebook chat. Like let's say the same example for these 3 systems, we can allow LinkedIn and LinkedIn mailing, LinkedIn chat, we can block it. That is also possible because they will monitor the traffic till layer 7. That's the main difference between traditional firewalls, traditional old firewalls and the next generation firewalls. So in Palo Alto firewalls especially, we can configure app ID, URL filtering, content filtering, etc. So I'll be doing the video shortly on all these things, so please do subscribe my channel. And moving further, why security zones are needed in the firewall. So let me come up with one example. So basically public places like any park or outside, like any places that will be accessible to everyone. I mean if you are an Indian citizen, we can go and walk, we can do everything. So basically, so if I just explain it over, so like let's say this is a park and this is my outside and can be accessible to everybody, no matter what, everybody they can go and access. Like let's say there will be some farmhouse, so this is my farmhouse from particular businessman or politician. So here public not allowed because it's an restricted area, or like let's say this is military zone, military special zone, okay, the same case. So here public is not allowed, but only allowed for 1 or 2 people. So and then the same logic applies for our network industry as well. So like let's say here we will keep one firewall, so here we will keep one firewall, could be Palo Alto, could be Checkpoint, anything. So they can have different zones based on where the connection is coming, based on the severity levels. We can have different zones, So in the LAN, basically, so in my topology I have 3 zones, like first is LAN, second is the park zone, also called as outside, and the third one is this farmhouse or military zone. Now if you see, this firewall has 3 interfaces, connected to 3 different zones, and by default nobody is, by default, like let's say if LAN wanted to talk to outside, by default the access is not allowed. Like let's say if LAN wanted to talk to this demilitarized zone, also called as DMZ. So I have explained in my other video what is the DMZ and why the DMZ zone is needed, so please go and watch that video. So as I said, by default from LAN to DMZ the communication is not allowed. So now this firewall plays a critical role in allowing the traffic. So that's why we need the zones, and this firewall we need to ensure we have all the specified rules that we have created, so that the legitimate access can go and talk to the internet. Like let's say a couple of mail servers are sitting in the DMZ zone, so they need the access. So your firewall can allow it, but you need to allow some sort of rules. So that's why zones are needed. And again, it could be universal. This is not only for Palo Alto or any other firewall, it could be for any firewall. And as I said, what is a zone? So zone is a special interface that is assigned to the firewall interfaces. So we can configure as many zones as we needed. So be it inside zone, be it outside zone, be it DMZ, vendor, guest user zones, etc. So that depends on completely your infra. So how many zones you need, you can configure n number of zones. So by default no zones will be available in the firewall. So by default no zones will come in the firewall. So that's completely depends actually. So whatever is the need, you can go and configure. Now if you see, this is my Palo Alto firewall. this is my Palo Alto firewall, and I am here in the network and in the zones section. So if you see, it's complete blank. So now let's create the two zones, inside and outside. So if you see inside, and this is important, type we need to define. So layer 3 type I will define. So we can add interfaces also. So as I said, we need to configure the interfaces also. So here we can configure Ethernet 1, any interface. Okay, so now this interface Ethernet 1/1 belongs to inside zone, and I'm not doing anything on ACLs. I'm just clicking OK, and then let's also click on outside. So I'm just adding outside, and again the type will be layer 3. So interfaces, I'm just adding some tunnel 1 as an outside interface, and yeah, we can just click on OK. So in this way, based on our requirement, we can create n number of zones. As I said, in real time we will be having multiple zones. Since this is a lab demonstration, I have just provided only 2 zones. So if you really like the content of my channel, please do like, subscribe, and thanks.